Okay, Chris, so I'm going to give you two quick ideas on what to do with ag literacy. First one is from our Soybean Ag Mag. On the back, it's called a Beanie Baby, and it pairs really, really well with this book. All right, Oh Say Can You Seed? And it talks about what do we need in order for seeds to germinate. So, cool thing to do when you're working a booth is ask, what do you need to do? What do you need to do if to get a seed to germinate? You have to have what? You have to have, people usually say seed, soil, sun. Those would be great activities. This other book I'm going to send you called Seed, Soil, Sun by Chris Peterson. Well, you do have to have the sun, but we really don't need the sun. We need two things. We need to be warm and wet. So you can talk about soil temperature, you can talk about growing degree days, but we're going to watch a seed sprout inside a Ziploc bag. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little Ziploc bag. They're jewelry-sized Ziploc bags, and I'm going to send you 100. So the rest of these you can find at Hobby Lobby or at Walmart. To this, I'm going to add a quarter of a spoonful, not very much. I'll send you a couple of the samples of this white crystal. Yeah, I'm sending you white crystals through the mail to Nebraska. I've read some stories about that stuff, but what this stuff is made from is it's really made from cornstarch. And on page 31 of this book, it's called The Starch That Slurps. It's called Science in Your Shopping Cart. And it explains how this powder, this material, it's the same crystals used inside baby diapers made from cornstarch. So we're going to add a quarter of a spoonful of that. To that, we're going to add a couple of soybeans. Now, what I need you to do is go to the bin and get some soybeans from last year. We're not seed saving or anything like that. You could do this with a lima bean, but it's too big. You can't see what happens with the naked eye. You could do it with a radish seed, but it's too small. You can't see what happens with the naked eye. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about these seeds. To this, we're going to add approximately 15 cubic centimeters of water. Okay, you don't have to do that. Something tells me you know what a half a shot is. So add in a half a shot. Don't worry about the 15 cubic centimeters. It's going to start blowing up here. The crystals are going to absorb like in a baby diaper, and they're going to start expanding. To this, you're going to poke a hole in it above the zipper seal. Above the zipper seal. I'll try and send you some that already have the hole punched in it. To that, we're going to add a piece of yarn. To that, we're going to add a piece of yarn, because as kids stop and think about, oh, you have to have the sun. Well, the first thing you do when you plant a seed is you take it outside and you dig a hole and you poke the seed in the ground. Doesn't get any sun. But the reason we don't grow plants in Illinois, maybe you guys do in Nebraska, but in Illinois we don't grow plants in the winters because it's not warm enough. So you got to have two things: warm and wet. Sunlight comes later. But first off, to get the seed to germinate, what you do with this is you have the kids wear it around their neck. Okay, you could put it in the window and see what happens, whatever. But the first thing you do is you have the kids wear it around their neck, and the body heat at 98.5 degrees body heat. In about 3 hours, you'll see the seed swell. Then it'll split. Then the root system will work its way out. Then I'll send you a sheet of these. They're little stickers that everybody can wear. You can make your own that say, I'm germinating, ask me how. So then they get to explain the process of germination, and you get to see what happens. So I'm going to send you samples of all this. So all you have to do is just add water. That's the first thing. So that's an activity that you can do. All right. So a necklace made from this. The next thing, another thing we use corn for is cornstarch can be turned into packing peanuts. I'm going to send you some packing peanuts. And again, you can get these at any U-Haul store, Walmart, whatever. And you can gently dab them with a sponge and get them a little wet, and then